So, what we're going to talk about today, kids?
Kids? Kids?
I'm doing that thing off Jimmy Young.
Oh my God, you're going back years. I can
Yeah,
only just about remember him.
can you?
Yeah. Wasn't he on Radio 2?
Radio 2, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. That's going back some time. Anyway, I can't believe that after last night's live, which ended around half one-ish,
Yeah.
I'm here again. This time I'm talking to you, and hopefully you're more awake, because you're certainly more awake than I am. I've had about 2 hours sleep. I had a quandary in my head going round and round in circles, whether or not the right thing was done last night.
Right.
Um, and I thought, well, I need to discuss it with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't see Stangu being here, but this time. But if he comes in, just let us know. More than happy to let him in. But yeah, last night we had for the first time ever, we had an uninvited guest, a
Yeah.
non-subscriber that came into the chat,
Yeah.
and unlike other lives that I've been on, when this person has come up into the live, and you run the risk of wrecking everything with him.
Good morning, Mrs. J.
Good morning, Mrs. J. I've decided to keep him at arm's length, and apart from anything else, I only want to talk to this person on Skype, because I want a level playing field for both of us.
Yeah,
You know,
which is understandable,
you
unedited,
know
everything. Yeah.
and last night was the longest live that we've done on here, to be honest.
Yeah.
5.5 hours. Ooh, no wonder I'm still awake.
Well,
um,
there is something in that, to be honest. Yeah.
yeah,
Your man won't stop.
yeah, my brain just going all over the place. But I don't know why, but I actually feel rotten. And I don't mean rotten as in I feel ill or anything. I feel rotten on No More Lies. So I do have an apology to make. Well, two apologies, right? Maybe three.
Right.
There are two other hosts on their normal Monday lives, and this is not designed to go against anybody, Um, so, I'm not trying to nick your views, your memberships, or anything. This is unusual for the Grim Reaper radio show to go live at this time in the morning. Mrs. J was so interested in last night, she fell asleep listening to us.
Yeah.
I thought that sums up the live last night. It's now a cure for insomnia. No, seriously.
That's it.
What's sleep? So, okay, so I'd like to apologise to everybody who watched the stream live or dropped in or has since watched the live, and to thank you all, because without you guys, there wouldn't be a channel. You wouldn't make it entertaining in any way, shape, and form. So yeah, thank you for that, and everybody who suffered the 5.5 hours of sheer hell. But it was funny. It really was funny.
It was funny. It was good.
When No More Lies came on, that was very serious. And first of all, No More Lies. This is from the deepest part of my black heart. Right. I am really, really sorry for the way that you were treated. You know, and was totally unfair of me to take advantage of the situation and to stop you from having access to a platform where you can F and Jeff, cause trouble, and basically be a troll. So my apologies. As I say, I'm really, really sorry that you weren't given that opportunity. You can, by all means, anytime, contact me. I don't know how many times I have to reach out to you for this. We have a conversation on Skype, and you can swear, you can do whatever you like. I don't mind. It'll just be between you and me. And then when I publish it, and it goes up on the Grim Reaper radio show website, everybody will get more of an understanding of who you are, what your ideas of life is, and why you're such an angry person. But
morning, Anne-Marie. Morning, Rosie.
Oh, hey, I don't believe this.
What?
We've got so
morning,
many people
UK
coming in.
Transparency.
Guys, I really appreciate it, but I wasn't expecting so many people. Who am I talking about? Oh, sorry, you missed the beginning. I'm talking about last night's live. Just a quick recap. No more lies. Yeah, I've got to apologise. I've been tossing and turning for 2 hours when I was sort of asleep. Probably wasn't asleep, because the black heart, my own soul, wasn't happy with the way that Mr. No More Lies was treated, and it wasn't the way that other people treated No More Lies, because everybody was really respectful, but I wasn't, and that is not like me, right, at all. I mean, if anybody who knows me knows that I never disrespect anybody, not on purpose. And I certainly try not to take any sort of satisfaction from it.
But Grim, you weren't disrespected him because you've handed out the olive branch to go one-on-one on a radio show which will be broadcast unedited. You know what I mean? You can't do any more than that.
I know, but I just didn't give him the option to come on and rant and rave, and have a go at everybody, and spread hatred. I mean, that's wrong of me, surely. Surely I should do what everybody else does.
What? Let him on and disrupt?
Well, that's what everybody else seems to do. Maybe I've got a touch of sympathy. Oh, God, now I'm thinking. God, no, the lack of sleep, I'm using the word sympathy and No More Lies in the same sentence. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to say that out loud. Okay, anybody in the chat? I mean, stop being so negative about me. I'm not evil. Honest. Don't retract it. Leave it there.
Go on, put the link up, Grim. See if anyone wants to come up.
Well, so long as you're respectful, I have no problem. You know that. We've got to be respectful. And last night I was being disrespectful to one person in particular.
I'm just laughing at Anne-Marie's comment.
Yeah, please. I don't want anybody being disrespectful. I can't even talk. Disrespectful to anybody, Did I wake up on the wrong side of the bed? I don't even think I went to sleep to wake up on the wrong side of the bed, to be honest. And that was from 4 o'clock yesterday morning. Never mind. Right, the link's there if you would like to come up. And as I say, if you're not going to be respectful, then I would prefer but as I agree with free speech, so long as you are respectful to those people who are in the chat, and anybody else, that's fine, no problem. Please come up. I'll just head over to StreamYard to see whether or not anybody's queuing up to come in. No, not yet. But still. So, anyway, I also made a decision last night. As a general rule, nobody ever gets banned from the Grim Reaper radio show. It was an agreement that Grandad and I came to in consultant with Spangu, like the main host, so to speak, that because we believe in freedom of free speech, we should demonstrate that, and I certainly didn't. So again, I do need to apologise. And I said to the mods, do what you think is right. And I gave the mods basically permission to do what they thought was right. And apparently there was a race. Did you see it? There was a race. I couldn't believe it. It was like, I'm banning him. No, I am. So anyway, yes, one of the mods did ban him. And once I figured out how to get into the back end of, I rephrase that. Once I understand how to get into behind the scenes of YouTube and unban, I will do. But anybody who knows me, computers and I just don't mix sometimes. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do that or when I'm going to do it. But I will do it. I will unban you. But anyway, I do want to wish you all the luck in the world. If there is enough luck in the world. Because I understand today is Friday and it's boot out day. For
of course it is, yeah, Friday, yeah. Mad Friday.
I'm not sure whether you're going to your plan is to stay in Blackpool and see whether or not you can bum a night somewhere. Sorry, get a free night somewhere, because you are talking in the past of standing outside hotels so you can get a Wi-Fi signal, so that you can come on board and jump into people's chats and really have a go at other people, So by all means, you want to borrow access to the internet within Blackpool, anywhere in the UK, obviously, the Wi-Fi passwords, you know how to get around it, etc. And we look forward to seeing you again here on the Grim Reaper radio show, because we love entertainment. We like to entertain each other. And, so long as you're respectful to people, that's fine. And I do appreciate the fact that you didn't do any video on your experience on the Grim Reaper radio show last night, which, to be honest, I was amazed at. You must like me, or is it that you just hate me and you couldn't be bothered? But you know what? I've apologised. I feel so much better now.
Yeah, that's good.
It's like a weight's been lifted off me.
Yeah.
And I think I can sleep. And a little bit later. Okay, Anne-Marie should be somewhere.
You're all right. I'm looking at it now.
Okay, well, yeah, do us a favour, Grandad. If you can actually get in, can you lift his ban, please?
I'm doing it. I'm looking now.
I mean, if you don't lift it, we can't do it again. I mean, it can't get in. You know, we'll play the hokey cokey. In, out, band, in, unband.
Right,
You know?
he's unbanned. He's
Ah,
unbanned.
excellent. So, the opportunity to come back in, No More Lies, is there. And, of course, free speech. Please be respectful. Please don't swear in the chat. Don't have a go at any of the my guests, Grandad's guests, Dan Goose guests, or basically anyone, because you might get banned again. But the mods won't be banning you, and if I ban you, or Grandad bans you, then we are never, ever going to unban you. But we will provide you with an email address so you can put your complaint into. Right? And if you're not sure what that is, can you remember that email address, Grandad? I know it's Dillygaff.
Not offend. Not offend.
Oh, he's trying not to laugh there. I could hear it in his voice. Yeah, it's actually Dillygaff at idon'tgiveup.com. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, guys, just so you know, Ben, part 3, well, actually, Bill and Ben, not forgetting weed, has been published, number 3, on the website, the podcast. So head over there. It's about an hour, I think, this one. And it's the continuation of Ben's life in the wonderful imaginary world of the Pentagon. And it is not based, may I remind everybody, it is not based on anybody alive, dead, or any situation whatsoever. It is a figment of my imagination. Okay, and it's not meant to be serious. And if I happen to offend a snowflake when they're listening to it, hey, as long as you're over 18, you can melt. I don't have a problem. So now that's over and done with. What can we do for the next 10 minutes or so before I nod off, because I feel such a weight off my shoulders.
You feel like you've lifted the weight, do you?
Yeah, I don't feel guilty anymore because I've apologised. Listen, if I make a mistake, it's a learning experience. So I have to apologise. First of all, you recognise the mistake. Second of all, you apologise. That means you don't get sacked. Right? And thirdly, you learn from it.
Yeah.
Well, that's how it works normally, isn't it? I need to go and listen to Bill and Ben. Yeah, parts 1, 2, and 3, please, in that order. And to make it easy, when you go into the website, guys, it's been designed so it's actually at the top of the front page, home page, just to make it a lot easier for everyone. They're all grouped together. But if you're not able to find them there, and other things go up, you can always find them in the blogs, because that's where they'll be. Yeah. Well, the only reason why I explain that, Anne-Marie, is because you're from Liverpool. And I wouldn't want you to watch 2, 3, 1, you know what I mean? Or listen, I should say. Oh, and by the way, when you finish listening to them, would you mind putting them back? Because other people want to listen to them as well, Not that I'm having a go at Liverpudlians in any way, shape and form. I'm sure that every Liverpudlian is as nice as you are. But when can I have my hubcaps back? Or my steelies, aluminiums, whatever they are these days. Right. Did you get your car fixed yesterday?
Oh, me? Yeah, done it.
Shush your mouth. Is that a saying? Or is that just something you thought of at this time of the morning? Oh, I shouldn't do this first thing in the morning, should I? And worse than at night time. I wonder whether or not he's realised that he's allowed in and he's listening from afar. I'm half expecting him to come in now and start insulting me. Told you, you've got to get up in the morning. Earlier than me.
Yeah, early bird catches the worm.
Yeah. A polite way of STFU. I can think of a few things, but
Yeah.
or
Shut
is
the
it?
fuck up.
Oh, right. Thank you very much for the translation. I don't do short text. Granddad has more of experience in short text than I do. He's been
I
dealing with.
don't. I just works it out.
Oh, right. Okay. All right. You're more awake than I am then. Nice one. I'll have to use that one again. Right. As I've been told to shut up. Grandad, the show's yours.
What? Yeah. Lovely morning. Lovely morning. I don't know what else to say, Lapes. I don't know what to say.
See what I got to work with.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just writing off at what everyone else is saying, me.
I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying the chat. It's nice to actually, realise that there are other people
Hey,
of
Anne
similar
Marie.
wavelength. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Nice little world
I think it's a
developing.
term of endearment. Thank you, UK. Oh.
Anyway,
Anyway,
we're back
what?
to Mad Friday nights. Are you
Next week.
doing a live tonight, Anne Marie?
Yeah, I don't want to do a live tonight because I've got a long journey tomorrow. But if someone's going to do a live where I don't have any responsibilities, it'd be nice. It's
No,
got to be the right person, Anne
I
Marie.
won't be doing no lives. Not yet. I will be doing them soon. There's reasons why I don't do lives because there's
Well,
certain
yeah,
things.
no.
There's certain things I can't say, and I want to say them, but at the
Do I
moment,
have to?
God,
Sorry, I'm just
shut.
reading the chat. Well, if you're doing early enough live, yes. Not that I'm telling you what to do with your channel. I couldn't do that to another host, could I? I mean, it's be totally disrespectful. Depends on what time your kids go to bed, I suppose. What can you get rid of them early? Either that, or we've just put up with the background noise. It's not a major issue either way.
No, it's part of the entertainment.
Yeah. Totally agree. So I know you can't do lives at the moment, and part of that reason is that, well, you don't want to, and you might not have any hours left on your stream.
Yeah.
Good
No.
morning, Mr. Bear.
Oh, good morning, Mr. BBA.
They're coming out of the woodwork. I think people would like a
To do a
quiz.
quiz.
We tried that last night. It didn't quite work. We tried to name that tune. It was hilarious. We're playing all modern stuff. What's with the title? Oh, you missed it. Okay. You've got to come up and I'll explain. But you've got to also promise me, BBA, that you are going to be respectful to the person that I have apologized to, because I don't want anybody to be disrespectful to anybody who comes in here. You know the rules, and I'm sure you don't mind. Yeah. Oh, and do you know what? That message, us. Okay. Are you any good at interpreting? I can see the wave. What's the sunglasses? And us in the chat. Are you good at working that one out, Grandad?
Hey up. It's all right. I don't know whether
Anne-Marie
I
got.
got it or somebody else. Oh,
Yeah,
Anne-Marie got
Anne-Marie
it. You
got
beat
that.
me, Anne-Marie. You beat me.
Yeah. I saw it, and that's why I was thinking. Yeah. Anyway, right. Politarian. Congratulations on the 100 subs. I loved your video regarding that and your celebration. Mr. BBA, are you coming up, or is it too early in the morning?
Put the link up again. Oh, you have done. Sorry, I apologise.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's he might have disappeared. You know what he's like? He drops in, drops out. Yeah, and it's not down to his internet connection. I just woke up, so I can't jump on yet. Well, you got a gob. Doesn't normally stop you. Sorry, BBA. It's lack of sleep. Okay, for those who are late to the party, can I just point out that last night, hello, Mellows.
Hello, Mellows. Hello,
we had a bit of a live last night, and we had No More Lies in the chat. And normally I don't come on at this time of the morning, so I've apologised to the two people who I'm aware of are doing their own lives this morning, and I'm not trying to be in competition with them in any way, shape, or form. But I actually felt that an apology was due to the mistreatment and mismanagement last night by myself, and only by myself, to Mr. No More Light. I was offhand with him. I said what I thought rather than thinking about it first and deciding whether or not it's the right thing to do. And I was a touch sarcastic. And in the end, I allowed the mods to run wild all over him. And normally it's me that takes the decision to ban people and remove them, etc., or time them out. And I did explain this to the mods. No one's to touch him. However, got to a point where it became slightly unbearable, and it was nothing which was with fault of the mods or anything. I just thought enough's enough, and I allowed open season. And I thought about it for the 2 hours or so that I've actually slept, and I felt that guilty about the way that he was mistreated, that we've decided to I've decided to unban him. Grandad's unbanned him. He's allowed back into here. He will never be allowed to come up on the panel, because I don't want anything foul polluting anybody else. I don't think it's fair on any guests on the panel or anybody in the chat or anybody listening to actually hear a droning, whining noise. But back to No More Lies. I wouldn't want him at all to feel that he's not welcome. More than welcome. And again, anytime he wishes to have a one-on-one with myself, we will use Skype, and we will have an adult conversation, if that's at all possible. But then again, he's allowed to do what he likes. But it will go out on air unedited, if he so wishes to have this conversation with me. I won't entertain him on YouTube in a conversation. If he wishes to come into the chat, of course he can do. Morning, Torbs. If you want to listen to last night's show, you don't have to listen to the full 5.5 hours. and I didn't even realise it'd gone on that long. But yeah, you're more than welcome to go and listen to it, or watch it, I should say. The chat is actually up. I found a way of ensuring that chat is there. So that's the way it is at the moment. So yeah, life's great. Apart from that, and again, I do apologise once and for all for the way that I treated him. It was unprofessional, and again, I can now go to sleep and not feel rotten about it all. You know. Yeah, I'm not going to go down any personal route in any way whatsoever. As I say, it was just the way I treated him. I just felt that I treated him disrespectfully, and that's not fair. Because I like to treat everybody respectfully, don't I, Grandad?
Yeah, well, like you said, it was. We did agree when we all started this that people won't be banned, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? The only thing that gets banned is these bots and all that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, well, I know he was treated like a bot, and at the end of the day, he's not a bot; he's a human being. And yeah, I'm not being harsh on myself. I'm not being harsh on anything else. Apologising. Well, I'm apologising to a human being, and like I say, if I'm in the wrong, I'll hold my hand up. You know, and if it helps him get over any issues that he may have had from last night, that's fine. That's not a problem. You know, but you know what? Such is life. Right, I'm just trying to catch up. Right, okay. Tubbs, can you yeah, well, to be honest, I really don't give a monkey's about his past. And what's been going on. You know, at the end of the day, until a later date, I can't pass comment on anything which is ongoing. That would be wrong of me, you know. So let's just keep it nice and respectful, please, especially in this time of the morning. I don't want people falling out with each other or having a go at each other. That's not fair. Well, unless, of course, he comes in. And then, in which case, it's a free-for-all. But I think it would be your turn then, wouldn't it, Grandad? Just, you know, to sort it all out, you know. At the end of the day, I am not supporting anybody in particular, you know. Why would I want to do that? I'm independent, aren't I? I'm about as independent as they come. I have no allegiance to anybody, you know, except people who treat me with respect. And although he treated me disrespectfully, he also treated other people disrespectfully, and that's the reason why he was removed. But I like to give people a second chance. So there's a second chance. There won't be a third. So oh, really, 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 this is getting so playgroundish. All right, okay. It's only a short live, this one, guys and girls. I really do appreciate you dropping by and having a bit of a giggle at this time of the morning, you know. So, Grandad and his vape. Yeah, it sounds more like Darth Vader's walked in.
Morning, Agent X.
Oh, morning, Agent X. Oh, at this rate, I'm going to be carrying on a little bit longer. getting more and more people in. It's great. Gonna have to start doing this seriously now, aren't I? They're taking a mickey. Right. Okay. Some of the comments are actually quite good.
I'm to
You've
make a
got an
coffee, so carry on.
alligator for a mod. Okay. I'm trying to figure that one out. Sorry. Have I got any alligators in the house? If so, please let me know. Okay, I'm just reading the chat, just trying to catch up. Grim, I am your granddad. Oh, right, okay. I'm not going to argue with Agent X. Might do a video on me and investigate my background dating back several hundred years. 800 and, what was it, 55? That's how old I am, officially. I'm not sure, though. I could be older. Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, enjoy your coffee. I'll eventually get another one. Hello, Kat. Nice to see you. It seems like yesterday that you were in here. You missed the fun, apparently. Right, okay. I meant Grandad and his Darth Vader with his vape. Okay. Older than dinosaurs, eh, Grim? Yes. Ish. Morning spliff. Purple.
Morning, Smith. Spliff.
Got ya. It's 2 in the morning.
Morning,
I can't be
Catwoman.
sarcastic in any way, shape, or form at the moment.
Oh,
I can't
dear.
take anything seriously.
I'm glad you can talk because I won't know where to start with this one. I'll be quite honest with you.
You don't know where you're going to start with anything.
I do.
Do you?
I do, yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Wait till I come back live on air. I'll tell you. But that's not going to be for a few months yet.
No, that's all right. Shall we say November?
No, before that.
I just want to book you in the calendar so I know where you're not going to be.
About July time. About July.
Oh, right. Okay, fair enough. Subject to approval.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have... Cathy, morning. Have I missed anybody else who's come in? No, I don't think so. I think I mentioned everybody now. I don't like missing people when they come in. If you're kind enough to come in, you know, the least we can do is to at least try and get your name right, from my side anyway, because I'm useless at reading and then pronunciation. But look, get your name right verbally. I'll tell you what we will have a chat about. There's something which I saw earlier on today while I was, well, this morning. I was watching PJ Audits, and he's a lovely guy. He's got a very witty sense of humour. And he did a video of a unit, scrapyard, I think it was. And this guy came out and turned around to him and said, he voluntarily gave his name. And he said that if he was to publish that, then he would be in breach of GDPR. Now, I just like to clear up something, really, because it got me thinking, which is sudden, I know, and I will have a lie down later because I'm a bit exhausted. Not because I was thinking, by the way. Who does GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulations, and there's no regulations after it, but although people do say GDPR regulations, right? But who does GDPR apply to? Any idea, Grandad?
I always thought it was people within, let's call it a business service, that sort of thing. It's people within the employment side of it. Am I
Okay.
correct?
Close, very close. From a legal perspective, it is anybody who is an organisation, a business, a government department, any large size company which is over one.
Yeah.
Right. However, if you are a limited company, you are registered as a company, you are also responsible for GDPR.
Yeah.
Right. So a YouTuber, in general terms, is unless they have registered themselves as a company, has no responsibility for GDPR. So when somebody comes up to you, regardless of whether they're in public or not, right, and they voluntarily give you their details, right, depending on the channel that you put that piece of information on, would depend on whether or not you have to blank out or blur out personal data, right? Because it's down to the policies and the terms and conditions of using that service. So we're not a limited company. The Grim Reaper radio show is not a limited company. It's not a company in any way, shape, or form. It is a group of individuals, and Agent X is perfectly correct. Companies, stroke organisations, and the government, not individuals. So this guy who voluntarily gave his name out, and the PJ audits blanked the name out, muted it very professionally, right? Had no liability whatsoever if it was produced, published on YouTube as it was. However, YouTube's internal regulations that we agreed to and community guidelines, as they like to call it, which is terms and conditions, if someone was to object to them, then that being done, they could theoretically get what's called a privacy strike against them. So he did the right thing to protect his channel and muted it. But it did get me thinking, how many people get it wrong when they come up to somebody with a camera? You're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that, and under data protection, you can't do this and you can't do that. I mean, you'd think it was a legal minefield, but it isn't at the end of the day, So, I mean, I had a giggle with Amazon yesterday, right? Amazon's a worldwide company who believe that whatever their policy is overrides the law, right? Especially when you got a complaint, right? And I had a complaint because I sent a parcel back to them, and because their automated bot system didn't pick up this parcel, they decided that they were going to recharge me the credit, right? And they didn't like it when I explained to them, once I handed that parcel over to their agent, I am no longer responsible for it. And they effectively stole nearly 200 quid off me. And they just couldn't get their head around that. Because they said, well, we didn't receive it in time. Is that my problem? No, it's your problem.
Yeah.
So the first agent was actually okay, not brilliant, but okay. They then put me through to a manager who's tried to be a smart aleck. Didn't work. So I asked him for a subject data access, and he turned around and said, well, you have to write into for that. And I corrected him. No, I don't. All I need to do is to refer to it. I don't even have to ask for it. But I have asked for it. You now have 30 days to provide me with the data that I have requested, starting from today. Now, as of today, they've got 29 days, and the clock's ticking. So he decided that he was going to close the complaint and he was going to shut it down, and then disconnected the call. Now, with Amazon, you've got this, do you want to call back? Of course I don't. I want you to call me. Click. So they called me back, and I spoke to another agent, frontline agent, who listened to everything that I had to say, was very, very professional. Didn't try and shout me down, didn't quote me anything, and also explained to me what they could or could not do. So I explained to them that I think I need to talk to a manager. And the manager, we actually came to an agreement. However, I did explain that I wanted to speak to someone higher up the food chain, because I was concerned about the incorrect information that they were giving people regarding subject data access and their policy. So he said, well, there's nobody you can speak to. All right, okay. And he said that he would process my request and arrange for the data protection team to give me a call back to confirm who I was, which I understand, right? But I'd already passed security. So therefore, they're making a phone call to me within 24 hours, which is irrelevant. So when I do get this phone call, I'm going to point out how their process is actually against GDPR. Or do you think that I'm just being pedantic?
No, you've got your rights, haven't you?
Yeah, I just, Morning, Stangu. Yes, you are awake, and this is your worst nightmare in the morning. If you want to come up, let me know. We've already had one refusal because it's too early in the morning. Agent X, thank you so much for putting that link in relation to GDPR from the ICO. Believe it or not, when I had to explain to Amazon what the initials ICO stood for. Now that is hilarious from my perspective. And the guy didn't like it when I pointed out that I actually work in data protection and GDPR. My knowledge is far more superior than his. Oh dear, what a shame. It was like being God all over again. But either way, yeah, I came out feeling a lot better. A, I'd aired my views. B, they gave me some money, which I always like. And they're going to refund me the 200 quid. So I made a profit by their mistake. But only ever complain, of course, if you can demonstrate that the company has made a mistake. It's always good fun when you do things like that. Right, now then, that's that over, that's that done. Anything else that I need to tick off in my head? No. Is there any subject that anybody would like to discuss at this ungodly time of the morning? No? Okay. Oh, Agent X. Scary, isn't it? I had to explain if the court secretary said I was committing a criminal offence. Okay. Ah, right, all right, yeah. GDPR is not criminal, and you cannot be prosecuted by the police for it, by the way. It's the ICO that bring the charges, because they actually have the power to do so. And as a general rule, they're the ones that issue the fines. And the fines can be 10% of the company and assets. And it's going to change slightly shortly as well. So, yeah. Yes, I've watched Aussie because back, I can't pronounce it this time in the morning or any time. I watched that something that they did with a politician on public land. It was hilarious. You know. So, right, okay. Yes, it was on YouTube, Rex. Anyway, good morning, Rex. Do
Yeah, morning,
apologise.
mate.
I should have said that at the beginning so that we can identify who's in the chat. Grim. See what I mean? I am so tired. It's getting to me now.
Well, go have a kick then.
Stangu, would you like to come up and say good morning to everybody verbally? This is just a chinwag, by the way. It's nothing
Heavy.
heavy. Oh, Jesus Christ. You know what? I had a heavy weight on my shoulders, but I don't anymore. And I think the people who objected to my apology have gone, but I don't have a problem with them objecting. They've got the right to say that they object. I've taken it on board, and I'll process it, and I'll have a conversation with them at another time when they're awake and I'm awake. I'm going to leave you. I've just opened my eyes. You're lucky. That's all I can say. I hope you had a good sleep. Do you know what? Guess what I'm going to do now? Rex, you've been spannered. We don't have mods, we have spanners. And the only reason we have spanners is so that it's a race to get rid of the bots. Because I trust each and every one of you, honestly. And I don't lie. I'm totally honest. According to Stangu last night, when we did the personality test, I can't remember what he said. It was a few hours ago. But this personality test did say that I was an artistic, know-it-all bastard. Something like that. Anyway, that was my interpretation of it. Whether or not that was correct or not, the right interpretation, I don't know. Because I am just me. Yeah, I've always been just me. Yeah, you know. Yeah, welcome to the Spanner Club. Chief Spanner speaking. Can Spanner number 9 please come in? Your time is up. Wow, my collection is. You still haven't got as many as Anne-Marie. You know. Eyes on the audit. I'm not sure whether I spanned you or not. I'm gonna have to have a look. Because if I didn't, mind you, who's going to impersonate you? You know, I'm the sort of person who takes a chance every. Oh, it did span you. It's all right. UK transparency. Do you have a spanner? If you're still in the chat, can you indicate by putting a let's have a look. No, I hadn't spanned you, but you have now. Do you know what? By the time I finished, everybody who comes into here will end up just being a spanner. Just another spanner. They're not guests, they're spanners. Yeah. We have an exclusive club. We only allow nice people in because what happens? We don't fall out. We don't argue. We don't have silly, stupid, trolling bastards. Excuse me. Sorry. I'm thinking I'm in the Pentagon. My apologies. I'm going to have to do a story on the Pentagon, a generalized one, to explain how it started, who rules it, etc. Because obviously there must be either a dictator. You say that one for me.
Dictator.
Thank you. Or
Catwoman's backstage.
Oh, right. Excellent. Thank you for letting me know. Because I got YouTube on. Sorry, Cat. Hope you weren't waiting long.
Honestly.
Yeah, so this is unusual. I don't do things like this first thing in the morning.
I know this is unusual for me. Actually, normally I don't come on first thing in the morning. But I've got a question.
Okay, go for it.
Regarding if anybody's got any idea around trespass. So, if I'm led to believe, like obviously I watched loads of American auditors and all that lot, and the police aren't allowed to solicit a trespass. So the police aren't allowed to go into the establishment and say, they want me to remove these, they want me to trespass these. They're not allowed to do that. And to be trespassed, you have to be like, are you not supposed to be given something to let them know that you're actually trespassed? I mean, there's no point just saying it. You know what I mean? So is that not the same here?
You're referring to the UK, or you're referring to? Okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was sort of comparing it to the but yeah.
Seem to have an echo.
I'm not.
I don't know whether it's you or whether it's Grandad doing it again. Grandad. Check, you got nothing else on. You've muted yourself. Oh, well, never mind. You can't hear me either. Right. So, my understanding is trespass is a civil crime, so to speak. It's a civil matter, I should say. However, aggravated trespass is when the landowner or their authorised persons have asked you to leave and you've refused. At that point,
does that count as aggravated though?
That is classed as aggravated trespass.
Because I thought you had to as well as refuse. I thought you had to like be violent or
no, that would be in breach of the peace, which would then override trespass. So if you're on private property, say you were in a mall taking photos.
Well, this is what I was getting to.
Right, and they asked you to leave, and you refuse, right? Technically, because it's private property, right? By them asking you, they have withdrawn quite correctly, as Agent X has put in, your right of access.
Yeah.
Right? There's no such thing as soliciting trespass in the UK.
That's what I thought.
So the police can't turn around and say, do you want they can't say, do you want them removed? The only time they can do that and escort you out would be if you refuse to leave. Then they can either charge you with aggravated trespass, or they could try Section 50. However, to be on the safe side, if you are on private property and somebody asks you to leave, you should leave.
Yeah.
If they ask you to stop filming, that's where you can turn around and say, I'm filming for my protection because you have now asked me to leave. So until I leave the property, which should be by the shortest exit.
Obviously, my you know what I mean. My argument is obviously, and my recent uploads of going in shopping centres and stuff like that. Right, I'm walking around, minding my own business, filming away, and I asked the owner, I think he was the security manager, what the issue is, and they said the issue is around recording. So if you stop recording, you can stay. But why should you have to leave because you're recording? Because obviously we all know that recording obviously, because this is where it's a grey area, innit? It might be private property, but it's still in business hours publicly accessible, isn't it? So you know what I mean? So I get it. When I just try and push it a little bit in shopping centres, a little bit. If it's private land on any like a construction site or anything like that, that's a different matter. But on a shopping centre, it's a little bit different, innit? And the fact that they're asking you to leave purely just because you're recording, you're not bothering anybody else. You're not bothering anybody else.
I'm just going to reset. I'm just going to double check something. I'm just going to reset the sound at this end just to eliminate myself. So I'll go quiet for a second or two.
Always me. Always me. I've got YouTube open.
Is that any better? I think it's gone now.
Hello. We got an echo.
Yeah, it's still an echo. It's not me. It's still an echo. There isn't an echo. It's not my problem.
No, there is an echo, you see.
Hello, Grandad. You've woken up again.
Yeah.
He does this. He has naps.
Yeah, just go on.
It must have been you because it's suddenly gone. It must be your.
It must have been coming off you because it was when you
I'm not
think
arguing
that.
with you at this time of the night. I mean, morning.
Yeah, don't start arguing. I'll bring the technical
Put me in the middle
in.
and I'll split you up. Put me in the middle and I'll split you up.
Oh, we could do
I'll bring the technical department in. I'll bring our technical department in, and he will show that I was muted when it was still going on.
Excuse me, Grandad. We now have an official referee on the Grim Reaper radio show, Catwoman.
I'm having my coffee.
That's a small cup. It looks as if it's 3 times the size of your face.
I don't do small cups, mate. I don't believe in small cups for coffee.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I will get round to making myself a decent latte in a minute because I have a decent coffee machine. And I'm not talking about the wife either. I replaced that one and got a coffee machine. No, I can say that she's not here. Right. Getting back to what you were talking about. Seriously, if anybody who is acting on behalf of the landowner, even if they are renting, they are taking that responsibility on. Any of their agents ask you to leave from private property and you refuse, if they call the police and they turn around and say that I've asked them and they've refused, you could theoretically be charged with aggravated trespass.
So in all fairness then, my recent upload, the police actually did well because obviously the manager thought, oh, the police are going to come, they're going to remove you, they're going to get your details. And the police actually didn't. And we were like, right, we're going to leave on our own accord and we'll walk around one more time recording and then we'll leave. And you know what I mean? And they led us. So if it was, my question is, if it was such a problem, right, because this is how I always see it. This is how I always feel. They say they don't want people recording inside these places, and yet they seem to allow them to walk around the entire place before approaching them. Why not put a stop to it as soon as possible if it's something they don't want? Why let them walk around the entire place filming and then approach them?
Because it depends. It depends on whether or not you meet Jobsworth.
Well, no, because they're watching you on CCTV cameras, aren't they? That's what they told us. They said that as soon as you walk through the door, oh, my alarm's going off. Shut up. As soon as you walk through the door, you will be watched on CCTV cameras. So,
yeah,
you know what I mean? So this is what I mean. It's funny how they seem to let you do it, and then they'll approach you. So it's like, if that's the case, they'd stop you from filming building, because that's what they clearly don't want, as soon as they can. You're not let you carry on doing it. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So my guessing is it's because realistically, I see it as they still do want the publicity. They might not admit it as a company, you know what I mean? They might not be able to freely, openly admit it, but I kind of think they do secretly want it, because even if it's bad publicity, it's still publicity for that establishment, isn't it?
Yes, yes. Just to clarify what Agent X is saying, the criminal aspect would need a victim. Well,
Breach of peace, yeah, I agree with that. That's what I was meaning. That's how I thought that.
Yeah, technically, the person speaking to you, because they are not an official body, i.e. the coppers, they could say that they're feeling distressed and they feel threatened.
Well, which the guy, obviously, on my last visit, was basically saying, I'm a nuisance. And I'm like, well, is being a nuisance breaking the law? You know what I mean? He's like, oh, but look at you, you're raising your voice. And I'm like, well, so what? You know what I mean? But there's a trick.
Honestly, there's a trick. Be nice. And
it's
keep
hard.
it.
It's hard.
I know. You got to grit your teeth sometimes. I appreciate that.
My teeth. I need to turn the volume down 10 decibels.
That's it, yeah.
I get loud and passionate because somebody's telling me that I'm not allowed to record, which is a perfectly legal activity, and people just start crying over cameras. I just don't understand it, and it sort of gets me passionate, and I start. You know what I mean? And that's why I become loud. I try. I can hear when I'm watching my videos back and I'm like, I'm so loud. And I shouldn't be. But
next time you say that, just ask them what the decibel reading is.
I need to buy one of them and measure myself.
And then turn around to them and say, don't you think you should get environmental health involved so that they can actually measure it properly and confirm whether or not.
I'll vouch for that. I might be bursting somebody's eardrums, so yeah. causing bodily harm.
But yeah, I mean, they can claim that, they can try that one. I mean, I just think it'd be funny saying something like that to them. You can just see the look on the face. Uh-huh.
Do you know, it's sometimes I'll have things in my head, like from what I hear from people making suggestions and stuff, and I'll have, I'm going to say this today, I'm going to say this today, because obviously you can't plan it, you can't script it or anything like that, but I'll have quotes and stuff in my head. But then when it comes to it, obviously it all just goes out the window, because you just get that caught up in the moment and that frustrated that somebody is crying over a camera. Everything just goes out the window in that moment.
So what you're saying is you play it by ear.
Pretty much. Because you can't. That's it though. Because you don't know what kind of reaction you're going to get. You don't know what kind of. You know what I mean. So you have to play it in the moment. You know what I mean. So it's like everybody's different. So you sort of judge the situation when you're in it and how the people are with you. You know what I mean, and how they're being with you, you know what I mean? Are you on their level? Are you know? And I wish, honestly, when I watch people like PJ and people like that, I do wish I could stay calm. I do. But it's just me. It's just because I'm passionate, you know what I mean? It's only passion. People might see it as aggression, but with me, it's just the passion of filming, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. But is having a passion illegal?
Well, exactly. And why is it, and this is what I ask people, why is it that it only seems to be photography and filming that gets this reaction? Like if you're walking down the high street and you see someone busking, playing a guitar or singing a song, you won't walk up to them, tap them on the shoulder and go, excuse me, mate, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Do you know what I mean? Why is it someone taking a picture only gets that reaction? I fail to understand it. And I'm looking for what links somebody holding a camera to terrorism and suspicion. Why? You know what I mean? And nobody can explain that.
Covert and overt reconnaissance. That's what it is. People just snowflakes.
Well,
at the end of the day.
The thing is, as well, when I've asked these security guards, by what they say to us is they much prefer it when somebody, because obviously you can, when they say to you, what are you doing, when they can blatantly see, well, obviously when you're doing it overtly, when you can blatantly see you holding the camera, walking around filming, so they can blatantly see what you're doing. Whereas if you had a spy camera and they didn't have a clue, to me that would be more dangerous. That would be more dangerous doing it that way. That would show that you're more chance of being up to no good. So isn't it better that you're doing it and you're showing, you're being blatantly obvious that you're doing it?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you walked around with a pen camera, right, then I could understand someone turning around and saying, well, you shouldn't be doing that because it can be seen as reconnaissance. Do you know my job is
Reconnaissance.
Thank you. I don't know what I'd do without people finishing off my sentences at times. Right. So if somebody was walking around filming and you couldn't see the camera, like a private detective or something like that, for an insurance company, or doing a recording of what's being said, I could understand why people would be nervous. But if it's in a public place, it's got public accessible, then yeah, what's the problem? And the other one which you could do is you could turn around and say, well, I do apologise if my mental health is affecting you in any way, but I have to carry this camera around for my own protection. Otherwise, I don't feel safe.
And that's what, what was it called that used to do that? Oh, in London, a guy in London, I think he changed his name. Oh, in fact, it was called On the Autistic Spectrum. It was called On the Autistic. I think he changed his name, but he used to do that because of, obviously, he said he had these, obviously, disabilities. And he used, people used to see him as aggressive because he got loud as well. He got passionate. And he used to just say, I'm recording because I have to, you know what I mean? And it's right, though. But it shouldn't be like that. This is what I mean. It shouldn't. And like you said with the camera, why can't people just have a nice, calm conversation rather than just automatically assume you're up to no good because you're holding a camera? That's, do you know what I mean? Some of these videos, just the way the people get approached and the way they come out all aggressive and just straight on the bandwagon of you up to no good. I mean, I'll tell you a little story. I went somewhere the other week with Rebecca, and it was just it was like a farm. Let's put it this way, it was like a farm. And I was filming around, and a woman come up to me and basically turned around and said, "Oh, there's so much equipment around and horses. We just don't want you filming." I mean, I'm like, what, am I going to put a horse in my bloody boot and run off with it? You know what I mean? I mean, come on. It's like just the madness that people come out with around recording. It just,
yeah, it is. I mean, let's say that you're recording somewhere which is publicly owned. I want to get away from police stations because it's a little bit.
That's why I like to do different places rather than police stations.
Let's say you're going into a town hall.
Yeah.
Right. And it's, say, for argument's sake, it's your local town hall. So you are actually paying for that yourself, right? For the council services, etc. Right? Mm-hmm. You walk into there and you start filming. There are signs which say, for security, we are recording, because from a data protection point of view, GDPR now as it is, they have to display those signs, right? Yeah. They have to notify you, and they also have to notify you who the data controller is. As an individual, because you're not an organization of any description, right? Mm-hmm. You're not a limited company at all. You don't have to walk around with a sign on you saying that I am recording people, etc. Right? So a security guard comes up to you or somebody in that position and says to you, "We would like you to stop recording." They're being nice. They're being polite. There's no reason for anyone to be aggressive. And the answer to that is, well, thanks. I take on board what you're saying, but I choose not to.
It's like advice, isn't it? You're taking it like advice.
They're being polite about it. So you're polite back. And then you've got the other side where they demand that you stop recording,
Yep.
and they come across aggressive. You take
Mhm.
it as being aggressive, but you're in a public place.
Mhm.
Politely explain to them, as a council taxpayer, I am just recording to see what facilities there are and to look at the architecture.
Mhm.
And then turn around and say,
Public
what's wrong
display
with that?
boards, anything, yeah, public
Well,
display boards
Yeah,
and all that good
there's
stuff. Yeah,
nothing at all.
there's
And
them.
you can turn around and you say, well, you
Mm.
know, it's my day off as a carer, and I wanted to show the person who I care for, who isn't able to leave the property due to the fact that they suffer from agoraphobia, and what it's actually like in here. Are you telling me that you don't agree with the the Equality Act? Because as a carer, you have the same rights in a public place. So
There's loads of reasons you can give. I mean, the guy that was on it was spoke to the other night, and he said he makes videos to show his family back home. It's what if you've got family who are thinking about moving to that location, so you're just filming around for them just to say, oh, look what's here, show, you know what I mean? And you send the videos to say, oh, we've got one of these here, you know what I mean? There could be numerous of reasons, and
exactly,
you know,
all
and
innocent.
yeah, it
But
is.
people always think
That's
the worst because
Mhm.
that's the way they're indoctrinated. Because they go
weird.
through,
It's weird.
the security staff go through. The only thing they actually pick up when they go through security school is look out for suspicious, and that's it. That's it.
And that's
They
what it
don't
is.
hear anything else
Yeah,
after that.
it's just suspicious. Yeah, we've seen someone walking around filming, which is suspicious. Yeah, and even on I think we've been watching Focus. I've been watching a lot of his older content. And I think a guy came out once to him, and he basically said, we're basically bombarded every day to think everybody's suspicious. We're hammered with it every day. And that's what it is, especially with security and with the police. They must go into the training every morning and just get completely brainwashed every day. Everyone's suspicious, question everybody. Everybody's, do you know what I mean? Can you imagine living in a job like that? Where you're just constantly on edge, constantly paranoid of everybody's a criminal. I certainly wouldn't want to live like that. I'm happy I'm doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Well,
It's relaxed.
I can see the other side to of any building where there is security access and you need a pass to get through. Okay, but the lobby or the reception area, as we would call it over here, you can tell I've watched too many American ones
Yeah, I'm saying
at times, right?
Yeah.
But that has public access.
Yeah.
And until
Yeah.
such time as you're asked to remove yourself, you are legally allowed in there. If you walk in with a camera, right, then they can ask you to stop recording. You don't have to.
Exactly, yeah.
But if they then say to you, we would like you to leave,
Yeah.
ask
Yeah.
a question.
Yeah.
Is it because I'm filming, or
Yeah,
is it because I'm
exactly.
actually
Because
here?
normally it is. Yeah. If I wasn't filming, would I be allowed to be here?
Yeah.
But
And
then
there's a
you have to
reason why
answer
I'm
filming.
filming, and you've always got that fallback. I need it so that I can show it to Aunt Mary, who wants to see what the inside of your place is, and she can't get out herself, etc. You know, I mean, there's another one which you can do. You can walk around the car park looking to see whether or not they've got disabled bays or accessibility bays, and how many that they've got. And then you can go in, you can turn around and say, can you tell me where the accessible parking is, please? I can't find it. I can't find the big yellow boxes because they're not visible. So there are ways around it, but it's a question of how can I turn a possible negative into a positive?
Yeah.
That's
And
all it
a
is.
lot of the time, it is sometimes thinking on your feet, which is quite hard to do. You know what I mean? Reggie, I don't know. Do you watch Reggie Porter as well? He's so good at thinking on his feet, and it's just that comic aspect to it. You know what I mean? That twist that they put on where it's like they're holding a mirror up against the guy, basically telling them where they're going wrong, but absolutely making fun of the situation, and it's so funny. And I kind of wish I could do it like that, but yeah, for me, it is just a passion just takes over every time. I'm like, please, I'm just filming. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not causing any trouble. I'm just doing a harmless activity. I'm not, look at me. I'm not a criminal. You know what I mean? But
yeah, have I got the word criminal tattooed up on my head?
no, exactly.
Or I am a
Does me
suspicious
and my wet
person.
Does me and my wet dog look like a terrorist? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna chuck my dog over that fence over there, and we're gonna break in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm only disabled for parking, and I haven't got a badge yet.
Yeah.
I've heard them all and I've seen them all. The funniest one, because I don't audit, I don't carry a camera with me, right? But I will be me. I will always insist on what's right. So the wife has a disability. She qualifies for a badge, but it's a hidden disability. So when we go out shopping, we park in the disabled bays and put the badges out. There's usually some nice person who says something, but they never say it directly. So when I overhear it, of course, I turn around and I go something along the lines of, can you not see the blue bit which is in the window? Can you not see that this person has passed the requirements to get one of these things? Do you not understand about disability? Or are you just as thick as pig shit? Please give me an answer. It's all about being nice. You can insult someone, but you're nice about it. You know,
Exactly.
I mean, I've had, the mafia coming out from inside the store, turning around and saying, you can't park there. And then I go down the route of the Equality Act. And when they ask us to leave, I go, that's fine. So you're now refusing a disabled person access to your store. Is that what you're telling me? And they go, oh, no.
Get the back up straight away, and they don't know where to go from there.
Well, I never get the backs up. I just ask the question.
Yeah.
So,
right
if they turn around to me and say, I can't do something, I mean, I don't say, is there a law? Or what's the law that says that? Because that's been used. So it's usually I will be, there's other things which I can say. But you're right. It is, I mean, how could you refuse access to somebody who is disabled? They don't have to explain. They don't have to do anything whatsoever.
They don't have to fall out the car with one leg to be disabled.
No, exactly. I mean, there was a guy who needed a disabled bay so that they could get their wheelchair out, right? And I wouldn't have an issue with it, but there was 4 cars out of a 5 bay, which was amazing that there was 5 bays, but there was 5 bays there, and 3 of them didn't have disabled badges. And because I was getting out the car with the wife, they came up to me and they turned around to me and said, you're not disabled. Don't park there. So I showed them the blue badge and he said, I'm more disabled than you are. And after I picked myself up off the floor, because I did actually fall down laughing, I went there and said, you're talking to the wrong person, pal. It's not me that's disabled. Well, not that way, but my wife has hidden disabilities and you don't know what they are. We can see your disability. So why are you trying to discriminate against people who have hidden disabilities? Why don't you look at the 3 vehicles that haven't got blue badges displayed and go inside? Oh, hang on, I forgot. You need a disabled bay so you can get your wheelchair out so you can go inside. Oh, sorry about that. Tell you what, hang on here, mate, and I'll go and get a manager for you. I will help you out. And it was just look.
It is. It's just the way people, as we were saying in chat, they feel entitled. Like, mind your own business. If everybody just got on with their own lives and mind their own business instead of sticking the note, we'd be in a much better place. Do you know what I mean? We would be in but people just feel the need that they have to get involved in other people's businesses and feel entitled, and it's just we've turned into such a horrible world. We really have over the past year.
Do us a favour, Kat. Go and have a word with 3 people: Putin, Biden, and Boris. Because what you just said makes perfect sense. I think they need to hear that.
So I run my mouth with them. I give people an headache, me. I give people an headache with my voice.
I would not like to comment on that.
I'm hoping somebody would disagree with that, but okay.
Well, I did say I was disagreeing with it, and I wasn't saying I was agreeing with it.
No, I don't. Honestly, I watch my stuff back, and honestly, I'm surprised I do have viewers. I'm surprised people do watch my stuff. And obviously, with my recent upload, I've had to re-upload it about 5 times now, as well as my friend who's re-uploaded it on her channel. And it's like, if I have to listen to this again, me shouting at these bloody goons, I'm never doing this again.
And then the next day, you're out again with your camera.
Yeah.
Doesn't
believe it or not, I've actually got something in my eye now. Believe it or not, I've got used to. I have sort of having, because I've had to got used to the sound of my own voice now, because I just, do you know what I mean? I've got no other choice. So
you can always ask Rebecca to listen to it.
I think she, like her and Mess and my father, they just tune off after about a minute. Listen, that's why. Why do you think I have Ozzy? Why do you think I have Ozzy?
And even Ozzy's turned the back on you.
Yeah, usually the case. Yeah, he's the distractor. He's the level. You know what I mean? So if I haven't got in with it, if I haven't got in with me, you can sort of tell it's going to be a bad audit. Whereas at least when he's with me, he can kind of distract a little bit. Yeah.
Well, that's the reason why you take Ozzy with you. Because you can, if nothing else, you can talk to Ozzy.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's it. I get more sense out of him than some of these people.
You said that. Let's clip it and let's keep it there.
Ozzy is the cleverest dog in the world. He's got more sense than any security, any officers. He should be working for him. He should be the boss of him and tell him what to do.
So he'd be barking the orders.
The orders, exactly. I'd listen to him, though. Actually. I'd listen to him. I wouldn't argue with him.
I do understand why they like to argue. They see a camera, basically, and they want their 5 minutes of fame. As soon as you mention social media and it's going on to social media, all of a sudden they turn around and they go, I don't want to be recorded. Hang on, you just stood in front of me for 5 minutes making a fool.
Why do they make a fool? I don't, you know what I mean? Just, if you want to be on camera that badly, then be on camera, but you don't need to show yourself up, or show your company up.
Right. Next time someone turns around to you, Kat, and says, I don't give you permission to film me, turn around and say, well, I didn't give you permission to stand in front of my camera, but you did.
When people say, oh, why are you sticking your camera in my face? Well, why are you sticking your face in my camera?
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah.
Turn it around on them. You know, they'll
I love it how when you watch these videos, somebody's like miles away in a security hut. They come out the security hut, walk all the way down up to the camera and go, get that camera out of my face. You just walked all that distance to come up, stick your face in my camera to tell me to get my camera out your face. What?
Yeah, can we just run that one back a second? I'm a little bit confused.
Rewind. Who came to who here? Yeah, that's what I mean. This is what I like, and it's. As much as I love auditing now, all this is just becoming so repetitive. It's the same lines. And have you heard of the guy, is it Win Some Lose Some? He does like a bingo channel where it's just look up, win some, lose some.
Right,
And
okay.
it just ticks off all the usual lines. You're suspicious and all the good, you know what I mean? Lines that you hear all the time. Bingo, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And actually, someone should do. I might actually do that one day. I'll write them down on a board, take it out with me, and when I hear the usual lines, I'll tick them off, and then at the end I'll go bingo.
If you go around with a clipboard in your hand, you won't get asked anything because it'll make
That's
you
true.
look as
So
if
that
you're
is
official.
yeah. It all comes to. I think does it matter the way you're dressed as well? Because I've heard this as well. Like obviously in recent videos, it's if you're wearing a hoodie, you know, AB's had that. But if you're wearing a hoodie, you're obviously suspicious. You know what I mean? Do you have to go in a suit and to make yourself look like an inspector?
It's people's perception.
And that's what I always
You're
say.
never
Without
ever
the
going to get
perspective.
around that one.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Just check the comment about buying a drone in the chat, Kat. You'll find that funny.
Buy a drone and bounce the drone camera off.
See, I was right.
I'll have to mention that to DJ Audits. I need to invest in a drone. I do need to invest in a drone. At the minute, I've got my speedboat, so I'm just getting used to that.
Have you thought of putting a doggy camera on? Not
What's
you
that?
personally, a doggy camera. So when
On
you
the dog.
can't record,
put it
on
on
Aussie.
People have mentioned that I should put a camera on Aussie, but do you know when he does that thing where he rolls over and he goes on his back? I'm kind of thinking he'll break the camera. I have thought about that.
Yeah, but he doesn't tend to do that a lot when you're walking around.
Yeah, when I walk around. Yeah, I do need to do that. To be fair, I do.
If you get a magnetic one that doesn't fall off, you know, with a strong magnet.
Through Ozzy's eyes, the audit through Ozzy's eyes. I have got some ideas in mind. It's just going about actually.
Because then, if you think about what you can do, is you can make them think that they've won, and you can say, "Of course, I'll turn my camera off." You didn't say you turned Ozzy's off.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, and that's it.
That
and
would be covert.
People, yeah, and the thing is, like people like I'm not sure if PJ does, but I know Reggie does. He's obviously filming, and then he's got a body cam as well, hasn't he? So he's turns that car, and you've still got a body cam running. So yeah. So
well, this way
it's
you know it. Yeah. What's that? Get a pit bull dog cam, or pit bull and sorry. The problem you've got though with taking Aussie around with you is unless you can demonstrate that it's an assistance dog. I do like the way they've changed the.
It's my emotional support dog, which doesn't require, unlike a disability dog with or a dog that works for blind, an emotional support dog don't require papers or anything like that.
Well, that's a good way of doing it. Yes, of course it's an assistance dog. Why do you think I brought the dog in? You know, I can't go anywhere without the dog. You know, without the dog, you know, the dog supports me. And dog.
Exactly. Well, it does. I mean, it does. This is it. It does. That's the bottom line. That's why with literally. I don't know who's got worse separation anxiety, him or me. And honestly, I go out the door for 10 minutes and I come back and I can hear him street barking through the door. Yeah, mad one.
Dogs and
guys,
their owners.
I'm going to get ready for the day and I'll leave you to the rest of your morning.
Not a problem. Thanks for coming on. I hope we've tried to sort a few things out for you. If not, then
I must admit, Grim, Grim's not the nicest name ever, but you've got quite a nice radio voice.
I've got the perfect face for radio as well.
Yeah, no, you've got quite a mellow voice, so it's definitely a radio voice.
Well, I'm glad actually that I renamed myself because I used to go under God, and people sort of took that the wrong way. I don't know why. There was a couple of religious people who didn't like it, and again, I don't know why. You know, how dare you call yourself God? But I'm not calling. I am.
I was going to say this last night, but let's just hope that we're not shaking hands with the Grim Reaper anytime soon. Anyway.
Oh, I totally agree. But I've already got everyone's soul, so I don't care. Right.
You grab them the minute we step on this panel.
Yeah, you're all mine.
I'm soullessness now.
Right. Okay. Thanks, Kat. This was impromptu, but it's been great.
Bye,
Cheers.
Kat.
Bye.
Yeah, that was a good little bit of information there. That was good.
Yeah, I think it was that was really funny. Right, guys, I'm going to have to get some sleep. I've still got to drive later today, and I don't like driving when I'm half dead.
So
So
it's best not
I
to.
shall love you and leave you. Thanks for dropping in. Thanks,
Yeah,
Kat,
nice to see you all.
for
Nice
dropping
chat.
in again. You're welcome anytime. Same as everybody else. Cheers for now, guys.
Yeah, bye.
I'm going to end now.